If that species is extremely force sensitive, that must be their defense mechanism to let out some kind of like adorable like explosion pheromone. It's like you're so in love with it.
So it's just like, like protect me, please.
The Mandalorian, Chapter 3,
The Sin. Cheers. And he's finally on his way back to take the asset to client.
The client, good old Mr. Herzog.
Because he is the best in the parsec.
He said you were the best in the parsec.
And just that scene where he's walking through the city and it's the Baby Yoda just reacting to the things around it, and its ears are flopping in the wind, and it's just so goddamn cute. And I think Baby Yoda is one of the best practical effects in this whole show.
He's so doggone like expressive. Like I cannot wait to see the making of or any kind, because we're still debating whether he's completely practical or some kind of hybrid.
He does these little surprise faces. He does these little curious faces. He kind of does these little sad faces, and he'll smile.
Even like the half blinks are like amazing to look at.
He gets to the client's establishment, right?
Yeah, his lair of some kind.
Yeah, and then there's that what is that robot that from Jabba's palace? What is that thing?
I have no idea, but it's almost like some kind of guard bot.
That's like, yeah, it's like their version of the Ring, like what we would have today. It's like the surveillance doorbell. So he goes in, and I did want to mention, we didn't mention last time, the Stormtroopers in this are torn up.
Oh yeah,
They've seen some better days. You're not the shiny white Stormtroopers.
No. See, you get demoted. Like, you lost to a bunch of living teddy bears on Endor, so now you got to do like guard duty at like a warlord's palace.
Right, exactly. They're still employed by what, former Imperial warlords? Like, is that what it's supposed to be?
Maybe whoever has the credits to like keep you afloat in that world.
Yeah, because they're still wearing the armor.
Yeah, they might be just loyalists or some kind of privateers or something.
Right, because even what's his face, the client has a big emblem of the Imperial symbol on there.
Yeah.
So he's, I guess, he's still sympathetic to them.
Oh yeah, or at least that idea. They might be like new separatists like building up or something. Mm-hmm. It's like these people who still held like Palpatine's like interest at heart. Like, you know, they want like the bipedals to stick together. Mm-hmm. Or at least like the humanoid bipedals, and you know, no green folks, no tentacles. Like,
really?
Well, that was kind of the thing with the Empire. They liked people, not like at least to a certain point.
Really? So they were like Nazi Aryan race.
Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But
okay, because that's an I'd never noticed. But if I think about it,
I don't. People used to always tell me.
That is a very interesting theory. Actually, I've never thought of it before. But if I actually kind of rewind my brain, it seems like they never. The only time they'd hire an alien, a non-human life form was like a bounty hunter or something like that. You're right. I don't think anyone in the Empire was actually.
No, like
non-white man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You had this space UK.
Well, not even. It's more of like a Nazi Germany.
Well, that was kind of the thing. Like that, even like the earliest designs of Darth Vader were based on the old Nazi helmets.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then just the whole aesthetic, you know, with their marching and stuff like that, is very reminiscent of the Nazi. You know what? I should research that. I don't know.
I'm curious myself. Again,
you brought up a good point.
That's how I see it. You know what I mean?
So he goes into the client, right? And then already the Stormtroopers are being abusive to the Baby Yoda, and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
watch it." And he's like, "You watch it."
Easy with that. You take it easy.
That he's kind of developed this bond with it, and he cares about it, right? It's not just a package to him. He's starting to care, and how can you not? How can you not care about this thing?
The Mandalorian's heart grew like 3 sizes that day.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got some weird theory, especially from the last episode leading into this one. I'm thinking our little green youngling, like, if that species is extremely force sensitive, that must be their defense mechanism to let out some kind of, like, adorable like explosion pheromone. It's like you're so in love with it.
So it's just like, like, protect me, please.
You win. Perfect.
I would say if that's a theory, then its powers are so powerful, it's actually projecting through the movie and affecting me and every other goddamn American people, someone watching this show, because I want to protect this.
They need us to buy enamel pins and plushies.
I will protect that Baby Yoda with my life. I would kill for that Baby Yoda. So if its force powers are working, he gets paid handsomely. He gets paid like a pile of Beskars. And he says, you know, basically this is a big reward for such a small package. He asks, like, what are you about to do with it? And it even kind of confused the client, where the client's like, you ain't supposed to ask that shit. Like,
nah, you're the best of the best, and you tripping now?
You gotta be profesh about this, Mando. You gotta be professional. You know, there's no questions asked. Shut the fuck up, take your money, and go. Next, he goes back to his Mandalorian underground lair, and then we find out that they're basically hiding out, as he makes it sound like they're hiding out like rats, right? Ever since the Purge.
Yeah, they're like seriously underground.
The one female character I do remember, which I love, and I want to see more of her, is the Mandalorian blacksmith.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She looks cool, and her voice is cool. She has this cool like British voice, and her armor is sick. I love her helmet design. Her helmet design is very...
She looks like an Asgardian Mandalorian to me.
She looks like it's more akin to...
300 or something?
Right, like a Spartan. Yeah, like a Trojan or Spartan.
Yeah.
It's very Spartan-y kind of mask. I love her, and it's gold, and just the way she talks, she's so boss. I want to see her...
I want to see her in action.
Fight, yeah, I want to see her do something. I don't know if they're just going to keep her mainly to that blacksmith role, which is cool. Because kind of that's her role that she plays in that society.
Yeah.
She comes in with all that Beskar, and then everyone in that joint's like, damn bro, where'd you get that Beskar? And then she says something like, I must warn you, this will draw many eyes. But then there's this really interesting confrontation that happens, which I love this scene, with him and the other Mandalorian. So the big Mandalorian, he basically calls them out. He says, dude, you're dealing with an Empire, essentially. Even though they're gone, these are Empire sympathizers, and you're dealing with them. And these Beskars are from the Purge. This is what killed our people. This is what drove us underground. And I love that whole scene. It's very deep when it comes again to the lore. And I love how they're like fighting and, you know, like scruffy boys. And she's just like, oh God.
Yeah.
And she's just like, anyway. And then she makes a good point. She says, well, he's not a coward. Anyone who lives this Mandalorian life is not a coward, right?
Yeah.
And they all kind of have to agree with her. Yeah, Mandalorian history is crazy complicated and crazy complex. But again, I highly recommend you guys go and watch the Clone Wars. There's a lot of good Mandalorian stuff in the Clone Wars cartoon. There's always a quotable line, I feel like, in every episode.
Like, legendary, like, Star Wars fans will tell you, like, the reason why they enjoy, like, the original trilogy compared to like the prequels and sequels is because like they have quotable lines.
Yeah. So the first quotable line was episode 1, I believe. It was I
have spoken.
I have spoken. I have spoken.
I have spoken. And then this one is
This is the way.
This is the way, yeah.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
She basically melts the Beskar, and then she makes him a new, like, shoulder plate, I guess.
Well, no, it's like shoulder plate, like chest plate, and like wrist plates. And,
yeah.
And he layers his helmet even more.
Okay, so it's cool because it's kind of like a video game almost. Like you accomplish a mission and then you kind of upgrade your armor. Because I assume by the end of the season he's gonna be all like blinged out, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
I love the scene where she's putting in the little whistling birds.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're like these little needle things, and it's like so intricate detail. I will make you the whistling birds, but be careful with them. They're very rare.
It's really neat because if you look closely, when he does get a chance to use them, it's very much a callback to that first Iron
the homing things, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah. Interestingly enough, Jon Favreau directed that movie, and he wrote these episodes. So, oh, and then that's when we kind of see some flashbacks, right? This is the first time we get a glimpse into him. This is the first time we actually see him without a helmet, but he's a child, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming his family got killed.
Well, we're still learning about that.
Right.
Like, we don't exactly know, but it might have been during the tail end of 66 or during that purge that we're assuming.
Yeah, it would make sense, like, timeline-wise. He ends up going back to Carl Weathers, our favorite. He basically says, you know what, just give me something else. Give me something else to do. And Carl Weathers is like, dude, go relax. Go to this, what are they called? This Twi'lek healing bathhouse.
Yeah, poor Twi'lek.
I'm assuming it's a whorehouse. That's what they're implying here.
Yeah.
That it's some sort of whorehouse or something. And you and I were discussing, why are the Twi'leks always like sex slaves, or they're always sexualized?
It's the Hutt's fault.
But their entire race is just like dancers and strippers. And
maybe that one dancer Jabba had must have been famous.
Well, she's the most famous to us, right? She's like the first time we've met that species, and she kind of, that's the image we have of a Twi'lek is
outside of what's her face in Rebels, but she's a sweetheart. Like she's.
See, I'm not on Rebels yet, but they have a Twi'lek. She's a main character, right?
Yeah, she's like a rough and tumble leader. She's not at all like.
She's not like a sex worker.
Oh heck no.
Okay, I don't know.
She's a pilot.
I don't know. Twi'lek.
Like a healing bath.
Healing bath. What the hell does that look like?
We don't know, but man, it might be minty.
I can only imagine. Yeah, it smells like eucalyptus. That's how I imagine. Just like the scent of eucalyptus and like a bunch of these hot Twi'lek women just walking around. I mean, it kind of gives him this new job, right? He gives him a new mission. Mm-hmm. And right before he's about to leave, what does the Mandalorian do again? A second time he commits his sin. He asks Carl Weathers' character.
Yeah, what did they do with it?
What are they doing with this thing? He's part of the guild. He knows the rules. Like, he's broken the rules twice already. It's showing that he has some depth, right? He gets back on a ship. He's about to go on this mission, and he's about to pull his little lever, and then what happens? He doesn't see the little screw ball projector thing on him, right?
Yeah.
And it reminds him of the Baby Yoda, who he just gave away. That was enough for him. He was like, F this, I'm gonna get that baby back. It was predictable, but I'm glad he did it.
Yeah, he forced his way into his heart.
He's gonna go back and break his pact with this client and re-steal the asset, right?
Yeah.
Because at some point he torches the guy to death. He burns the out of him. There's gotta be violence, but this is Disney violence. And you can only imagine, because he burns him inside his armor. Imagine his skin just boiling. It's all in your imagination. They'll die off screen, or they won't. There'll be no blood. Your mind fills in the blanks of how horribly that character died, and it's almost like this is how Disney kind of gets away with that.
They've been getting away with that since like 1930, like when the evil witch in Snow White falls off the cliff and she goes like, oh, we're not gonna see her like face hit the rocks and her split in half.
So he takes the baby back, right? He steals it. Thank God, we knew it was gonna happen, but he walks out. So then comes one of the best shootout scenes I've seen in a long time. One of the best action scenes, and again, why I love this show.
Oh yeah.
They're totally delivering this spaghetti western in space. He handles his own. And actually, this twist I did not see coming. I did not see him being saved. I thought
that's what made it fun. That means the true crew has got his back.
Yeah, right. And that's what was cool, because you saw them so antagonizing to him in the beginning, and then for them to realize that he is one of their own, right?
Yeah.
And even though there is a guild, these guild rules, the Mandalorian rules come first. It's a totally different set of rules.
Well, you know what? You think about it. If this guy's as dope as he says he is, he's been like donating to like the foundlings.
That's true.
Which may be like all the young like Mandalorian to be Mandalorians. Mm-hmm. If he's put in so much work towards it, this might be their way of like paying him back.
And they gotta respect that in the end. So the episode ends, and the Mando gets away with the little Baby Yoda, and he's sitting there in the ship, and he finds the thing that he was playing with earlier, and he gives it to him to play with. And then my heart melted, and my heart grew. And like Mikey would say, Baby Yoda's force powers projected through the screen and touched my heart as well. And
your heart and your wallet, you will.
yeah. I thought episode 2 was awesome. I think episode 3 was even better. Join us again, and we're going to review episode 4, and then we're halfway done. Subscribe and like to our channel, because
this is the way I have spoken.
This is the way we have spoken.